Good day everyone. Today we're gonna present to you about cardiac and basic EKG rhythm. Advanced EKG interpretation. How do we interpret some EKG based on the rate, and that goes by the number. Usually 60 to 100, that's the normal rate we're expecting. Based on the rhythm, should be a regular or irregular. A presence of PQRST in every way we are looking for. Intervals based on to the length of like for example a PR interval. That's the thing we need to be measured. We have to make sure, be aware of the normal value of PR and QRS, which we're gonna go and discuss in the later page. Morphology comes onto the different shapes, like the different shapes of the P, if it's like upward or it's just like inverted, or it comes into the different shape. And the other portion of it is the ischemia in terms of presence of ST depression and ST elevation. How we do calculate the heart rate? So many ways in calculating the heart rate. Very easy if the patient is always have all the PQRST, and that's the way we can do it, an R to R interval. So in case of like a regular rhythm, 300 divided by the number of large boxes between R to R. Regular rhythm, another regular rhythm, rate of calculation based on the 1,500 method, and that is by the counting of the small box. 1,500 divided by the number of small box from square R to R. And how we do, and another also way, if it's like especially in a regular rhythm, count QRS in the 6-second strip. Time is 10. And how do we know what is the 6-second strip? Always remember, one small box of the EKG is 0.04. One large box is equivalent to 0.20. And what is the 6-second strip we're talking? That it means the 30 large boxes. So this is like a normal EKG that we numbers that we need to be very familiar of. The heart rate, that is like 60 to 100. That's what we call with the normal heart rhythm that we always look at. It could be sinus, it could be atrial, it could be ventricular. We always look for the P, if the P wave is present for every QRS, or is there's no P wave at all. Because identifying all those things, it will give us some important notification of what is the rhythm of the patient. Identifying the PR interval, 0.12 to 0.20 seconds, that is the normal. So that's like between P to R in here. And then the QRS is 0.08 to 0.12 second, which I can give you more clearer view onto the next page. So between the PR that we're expecting, a normal wave for a normal value is between 0.12 to 0.20. We told earlier that one box is 0.04, 0.04, 0.08, 0.012, and it's just like on the halfway, so it appears the PR interval is 0.16, and our normal value is 0.12 to 0.20, so we're still good. So why is it important of knowing the PR interval is within normal limit? Because that could be leading to longer than that, it could lead to a condition of a heart block. Measurement of the QRS, 0.08 to 0.12. So technically, it's the most likely like 2 to 3 small boxes. So 0.04, 0.08, 0.12. So it's just like we have 3 small boxes, and our normal QRS is 0.08 to 0.12 seconds, and that is within the normal limit. And in case, while we're measuring it, in case that if it becomes longer, it will gonna go us to a different cardiac condition, which is more on ventricular rhythm. And then we also mentioned of identifying the ischemia, ST depression or ST elevation. So our measurement for the ST, which is like typically normal, point up by on the boxes going up, all anything that is like above and it's just like forming like a little bit bench tool, it becomes like ST elevation. And then for that is like we call that an STEMI, and those who have like a depression, and that we call NSTEMI, and plus the presence of chest pain. Identifying a cardiac rhythm. We mentioned earlier, measuring if everything, the measurement between R to R are normal by counting the boxes or by counting the R to R and counting it using the 6-second strips. And how many? The 6-second strip is 30 large boxes. So started counting 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. So we have a 30 large boxes and we are having a 6-second strip, and that is confirmed. Every waveform has a presence of PQRST, PQRST, PQRST. So there are presence of PQRST, and then the length interval are all the same. The lengths are all the same. How do we gonna like identify this category? How do we gonna identify this rhythm right now? Normal, normal, normal. P, Q, R, S, T. They are all present in every waveform. And in the 6-second strip, are counting the R to R. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or we don't need to count this one because it's not complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, and then the presence of P in every waveform. And then the shape are all fine, and then we have a presence of P, Q, R, S, T. Normal heart rate, normal waveform, normal morphology of the P wave. QRS is within normal limit, PR interval is within normal limit. How do we categorize this rhythm? All right, I said I'm hearing a normal sinus rhythm. Yes, it is a normal sinus rhythm. Let us go to another cardiac rhythm. All right, in this cardiac rhythm, remember, we are still on the 6-second strip, and that is the 30 large boxes. We're fine with that. I make sure all the strips are in the 6-second strip. Easy. Can eliminate the counting. Do we have the presence of P, Q, R, S, T? The presence of P, Q, and the R, and the S, and then we have the T. So, the presence of the P, Q, R, S, T are all present in all the waveform. However, the P wave are fine, the P wave are fine. The interval is, we mentioned earlier, the normal PR interval is 0.12 to 0.20. We're expecting at least how many small boxes? 4 to 5 boxes, and we're only 1, 2, 3, 4. We're still good. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is just like 0.16. We're still good. So, of PQR. And the QRS are 0.08 to 0.12, which is like 2 to 3 small boxes. It appears like to have only 2 boxes. And we're counting the heart rate is like 1, 2, 3, just like almost 4. And how do we categorize this rhythm? Yes, it is sinus Brady. Thank you. As we move along, another cardiac rhythm we need to look at. We have this one, cardiac rhythm. We have the PQRST. We are on the 6-second strip. In everything, we have PQRST. The distance from R to R are the same. 1, 2. And now we're counting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Just like almost 150 right now. What is our category onto this kind of rhythm? still belong to sinus, correct? Because we have the P wave, we have the Q, we have the R, we have the ST. And they are all regular. Regular presence of PQRST are always in there, but the heart rate is greater than 120. How do we call this rhythm? Yes, it's sinus tachycardia. Let's go on to another rhythm. Let's go to a little bit more difficult. This one is a little bit different right now. Now we have to identify. So remember, we just finished with the sinus, the basic sinus rhythm. And now, what is this rhythm? Of course, they are in the 6-second strip. The P wave, it's not detectable. It's not detectable. The R to R is really irregular and it's still hard to find. We cannot measure from here. This one is shorter, like only 5, 6, 7, like 8 small boxes. This one could be a little bit longer, 5, 10, like 15 boxes, which is too far. And from here it's smaller again, and then it become bigger again. The absence in heart rate is irregular, and the absence of P wave, R to R is interval is not regular. So how do you call, and the heart rate is also irregular, how do you call this rhythm? We're focusing, remember, on the PQRST. It's very important for us to identify the presence of P wave, because in the absence of P wave, we are calling them atrial fibrillation. It's a very common arrhythmia characterized by no P wave before the QRS and with irregular heart rate. Yes, that's an AFib, atrial fibrillation. Another atrial rhythm that we can just present in here. Everybody loves this atrial rhythm. Another atrial rhythm, supraventricular arrhythmias. This one is just like appear like it's characterized by sawtooth, looks like platter appearance on the EKG. This is like the most common terms that they use to it, though. It's just like a sawtooth. It's just like a teeth that's just like it's having a sawtooth in there. It's still irregular. R to R is irregular. We are on the 6-second strip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there is no P wave that you can identify onto this area. And how we classify this rhythm? Yes, it is atrial flutter. And then another cardiac rhythm in here. This look like, remember we have just finished earlier the sinus rhythm. This one, it just look like a sinus tachycardia as well. But identify if this is also a sinus tachycardia or it's a different rhythm. This is how we identify, differentiate this rhythm to a sinus tachycardia. A sinus tachycardia is the presence of PQRST in every rhythm, in every wave, and it's more than 120. And in this strip right now, it's still a 6-second strip, it's more than 120 either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's just like 150 as well too. But do we have any presence of P wave? This P wave is being read, but that is the T wave. That looks like the P wave is like close. The T wave is like really close to the next wave, and it appearing like another P wave. But this is a T wave, not a P wave. So in here, in the absence of P wave, heart rate is still fast, narrow QRS, and these impulses is originate above the bantal branches though. And then this is what we call at what rhythm? Yeah, it's supraventricular tachycardia. So far, so good. Do we have any question? All right. So, in this rhythm, all right, we just like, we're still on a 6-second strip. Does it look like a sinus rhythm? No, we have to look at it for more. All right. So this is like, let's count. This is in the 6-second strip. We have the large 30 boxes. Our distance from each other are just like fine. They're all on the same interval. Do we have a presence of PQRST? Yes, P. And then we have the Q. We have the R. We have the S. We have a T. Alright, everybody has the same PQRST. And what it only makes us different from the sinus rhythm? How long is our QRS? How is the interval? How many small square that we have in the QRS? 1, 2, just like 2.08 to 0.12, like 2 to 3 boxes, so the QRS is fine. But what about the interval from P to R? Usually, our PR interval is 0.12 to 0.20. So, this is the thing that we have to do right now. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, it appears that we have 6 small boxes. 6 small boxes, it will gonna be 6 boxes. It's more than how many? It's 0.4 times 6 is 0.24, and a normal value of our PR interval is 0.12 to 0.20. So we have a prolonged PR interval in here. So what is the rhythm with the prolonged PR interval greater than 20 seconds? This is sometimes is due to the delay in transmission to atria to ventricle. Alright, so now we are talking in this rhythm, we're talking about heart block. And remember, we have different types of heart blocks. First degree, second degree. Second degree, we have 2 types, and we have a third degree. So this is like in a heart blocks because of prolonged PR interval greater than 20 seconds. And what it's gonna be, it's classification. How do you call this rhythm? First degree heart block. Yes, it's correct. The next rhythm that we're gonna talk right now, it's still like in the 6-second strip, but this one is just like I'm missing some PQRST in here. So we have PQRST and it's present. PQRST is present. I have a P, but I'm missing the QRST. I have the PQRST and it's the same. What is the thing that you're seeing different here? PQRST, we're only missing 1. But in other waveform, everything is present. The QRS, like 2 boxes, but the PR interval is the one that is a little bit longer. And then, be mindful, the PR interval, it's just like becoming longer in every wave until it drops. Longer, longer, and even longer, and the beat drops. So how do you categorize this rhythm? This is like a prolonged PR interval, then a beat that is dropped. So we call this is like, how do you call this rhythm? Second degree AB block type 1. Yes, that is correct. And now we're going to go to another rhythm. So it just like looks like on the same one. It's missing a beat also. What it makes it different from the previous one? QRS, PQRS are present. P is present. Then I'm missing of a beat here. PQRS, PQRS. The only thing that it makes differ from the other one, PR interval is still longer. That is more than, it's beyond normal. Still longer, and it's still classified as a heart block. But the only things that it makes difference from second degree type 1, the PR interval remain consistent. There is no prolongation consistent but prolonged, consistent but prolonged, and a miss of beat. Consistent and prolonged, consistent and prolonged, and a miss of beat. And this is how we call a second degree Mobitz type 2, prolonged PR interval, then the drop of beat. And this is the rhythm that can easily progress to a complete heart block. And I think you figure out what's gonna be our next, but we still have to discuss what is it like. Complete heart block, because we talked about it already. What it makes it like really characterized, no relationship between PQRST. P and the QRST is here. P and the QRST is here. They don't even have a relationship among each other. So I usually call them the divorce rhythm, but that's a complete heart block to make it more really medical term. Alright, so far so good. We're just gonna continue for more further rhythm, but more rhythm like now, it's more on like a little bit more emergency rhythm. So I think these are the most two shockable rhythm that we have to identify. Only two rhythm that could be shockable: ventricular tachycardia and ventricular fibrillation. And how will they identify those rhythm among each other? This rhythm is characterized by, it's really a bizarre. I don't see the PQRST, but the QR, no P waves. The QRS is like really widened. So we're gonna go back to the basic again. What is the normal QRS interval? Like 0.08 to 0.12 second. But in here, how many boxes? With my small boxes we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is I'm only up to 0.12, which is normal, but this one is more than 24 seconds. Bizarre QRS, and it's usually more than 100. Patient may be no pulse at all, and this is a shockable rhythm, and we call this, what is this emergency rhythm? We call this ventricular tachycardia. Yeah, it's correct. And as we go along, oh, this is more a little bit different waveform, different shapes and everything. It's characterized by chaotic wave pattern. Patient may not have a pulse at this time, cannot detected any heart rate at this time. Patient may be responsive to electrical defibrillation. And how do we call this rhythm? It's an emergency rhythm. Yes, it's ventricular fibrillation, chaotic waveform pattern, and patient has no pulse. Patient, this is one of the shockable rhythm as well. And another rhythm, this is like the patient is like, it appears in the 6-second strip, appears like normal sinus rhythm, PQRST are all in there. The interval are normal, the rate are normal, but it only difference is the patient has no pulse, and we call them pulseless electrical activity. It appears like normal sinus rhythm, but patient has no pulse. This is not a shockable rhythm. The only thing we could do with this one is continue CPR and wait for further instruction from the provider. And the last rhythm for the emergency rhythm that we're gonna talk about, that is like really probably could figure it out, but it could be also mistaken with the lead that's off. So sometimes we don't look at the computer alone, but we have to assess the patient. Make sure if the leads are connected and we're still seeing this kind of a waveform and the patient has no response at all. So flat line, no electrical activity, patient has no response at all, and this rhythm is not responsive to electrical stimulation. It also requires CPR. Yes, this is a systole. And I think that's how we end this basic EKG rhythm. So just continuously reminder, ventricular fibrillation, defibrillate now. For patients who have unstable tachycardia, cardiovert them, symptomatic bradycardia, atropine, or we do pacing. And for the complete heart block, definite placing or pacemaker placement. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.